Oh, would you look at the lovely Margot, her first modelling job. It's time to make a special gift for our very best friends. Let's make a dog tag. Open up Blender and click General on the splash screen. We still don't need any of those, so press A for select all, X for delete, and delete. Press Shift A for add, pick mesh, and slide over until you can see the UV sphere. In the bottom left hand corner, you can see all the attributes of that sphere. They're all fine, so we'll stick with them. Press Tab to go into edit mode, 1 for front orthographic view, and we're just going to stretch it out a little bit. So press S for scale, Z for Z direction only, and just pull it up like so, to about there. Left click to confirm. I'm just going to taper the top ever so slightly, and the bottom actually. So make sure proportional editing is turned on in the center. Double tap A for deselect all. Alt and left click to select that one there. S for scale and just pull it in. Yeah, we'll go for about that. Left click to confirm. And we'll do the same down the bottom. So Alt and left click to select the edge loop. S for scale and just drag it in a little bit. Like so. Left click to confirm. Double tap A. So just like the triple swirl necklace, we're going to put a little bit of a twist in this. So select the top vertex, press R for rotate, Z for rotate about the Z axis. Proportional editing is still turned on. And I'm just going to increase the sphere of influence to twist it around like so. And left click to confirm. Do the same with the bottom, R for rotate, Z for Z direction only, and just move it around like so. About there, you don't want to go too mad. Left click to confirm. Now I'm actually going to make this hollow, so I'm going to delete that vertex there, and I'm going to delete the top one as well. So press, select those two vertices, press X for delete, and delete vertices. You can see from the finished necklace that it's kind of squashed, so I'm going to press 3 for right orthographic view. Press A for select all, S for scale, and Y for Y direction only, and just drag it in ever so slightly. Left click to confirm. 1 for the front orthographic view, 3 for face select mode, double tap A to deselect all. I'm going to select this loop here, so press Alt and left click to select that loop. Leave 8 faces clear, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then click the next loop of faces over and select them. And I'm leaving 8 spaces there because that's where the name and number is going to go. And then the next one you're going to skip 6 faces and select the next row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it's this row here, select that. And then we're going to leave 8 spaces blank again and select the next face after that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and select the next one over. So there we go. As well as those lines there, I also want you to select the top row in between the large section. So I'm going to be selecting those 8 faces there. You can just press Shift and click those. There's not too many of them. And the same on the opposite side. There we go. And the same down the bottom. So just this one here. And this one here. Oh, I actually deselected one there instead. And I keep doing it. Okay. And once you have all those selected, in the top center, transform pivot point drop down list, I want you to pick 3D cursor. Press E for extrude and S for scale, and just move them out ever so slightly like so. That's lovely. And I'm also going to scale them out in the Y direction just a little bit. So S for scale, Y for Y direction only, and just pull it out so we get a bit more definition. And left click to confirm. Now we're going to add a subdivision surface modifier just so we can see what it looks like. So on the right hand side, click on the little monkey wrench, click add modifier, and under generate, click subdivision surface and up those numbers to 3. That looks nice. And I'm going to click on the little upside down triangle there, like so. Tab into object mode just to get a better view of the object. That looks good. Tab back into edit mode. Right now this is hollow, but I'm going to join the 2 holes top and bottom. So press 1 for vertex select mode. So select the top ring, turn on X-ray mode, press 1 for front orthographic view, and just press E for extrude, Z for Z direction only, and just pull it down ever so slightly. And then the same down the bottom, just grab that bottom edge loop, Alt left click to get it, 1 for the front orthographic view, E for extrude, Z for Z direction only. And while that's still selected, I want you to select the one you just extruded up above, Shift Alt and left click, and then edge and bridge edge loops. There we go. So you've got a little tube going through there if you want to pass anything through from one side to the other. And I'm going to also join up these 2 here. So I'm just going to select, I'm going to press 3 on my keyboard for face select mode. I'm going to select these faces here. It's opposite number on the other side. I'm going to select all those faces. There we go. X for delete and delete faces. Press 1 to go into vertex select mode, and we're just going to select those 2 loops. Our old friend in the edge menu, bridge edge loops. And I'm going to just press Control or to get an edge loop in the center there. I'm going to press G for grab, Z for Z direction only, and just pull that up. This is where you're going to put like the keyring chain to attach it onto your dog's collar. About there, looks nice. And we'll do the same down the bottom. So 3 for face select mode, and I'm just going to select all those faces there that we just extruded up. There. X for delete, faces, and then switch to vertex select mode. Alt left click, Shift Alt left click, the edge menu, our old friend, bridge edge loops. Okay, Control or to put in Control or to put in an edge loop, G for grab, Z for Z direction only, and just pull it up so that you've got a bit of space there. Perfect. It's getting there. Tab, just to go into object mode, see that you're happy with it. And I think that's nice. So next we're going to put on our dog's name in this section here. So for a bit of housekeeping, on the top right hand corner in your collection where it says sphere, if you haven't already, I want you to rename that dog underscore tag and press enter. And now we're going to press Shift A, and instead of a mesh, we're going to add text. Now it's in a different plane, so we're going to press or for rotate, X for X direction only, and click 90. Press enter. Press tab to get into edit mode. I'm just going to turn off the dog tag so we can see the text. And in the properties panel, I want you to click the A for the text properties. And first things first, we're going to write our dog's name. So use the backspace, and I'm going to type in Margot, which is my dog's name. I'm going to align it center and center. There's no real reason for that except I like to do it. And we're going to pick a nice font. So click on font where it says regular, just click on the file and have a look through and see, just pick a font that you like the look of. And when you're picking a font, make sure you don't go for something too skinny or you won't be able to see it and there's a chance it might not print. So go for something, a nice strong font. And I'm going to pick brush SCI. So just click that and click open font. Now we're going to fit that text to our tag. So we're going to turn the tag back on. I'm just going to get the text and move it forward so we can see it. So tab into object mode, press G for grab, Y for Y direction only, and move it forward. And then in geometry on the properties panel, I want you to set to extrude it. Just increase the extrusion a little bit. Give it a bit of thickness. Just going to hold down the shift key to have a bit more control. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate that text so it fits in the space. So press R for rotate and just rotate it round. G for grab, move it round till it's more or less in that space. Where it says shear, I'm just going to move it so that it slants the opposite way ever so slightly. G for grab, move it so that it fits. Okay, so now we've got our text and we want to fit it more or less to this dog tag here. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take a curve and we're going to try curve Margot so that it more or less fits the tag. So I want you to press Shift A for add, and instead of mesh, pick curve and pick Bezier curve. Now it's in there somewhere. I'll just turn off the dog tag for a second. There it is. I want you to press R for rotate, Y for Y axis only, and click 90 so that it's standing upright. That's perfect. And then tab into the to edit mode. I want you to click on one of those handles there, G for grab, and just move it until you get a curved surface like that. I'll just turn the dog tag back on and turn on X-ray mode so we can see it. And what we're trying to do is match the curve of the front of the tag. So tab out into object mode, click on Margot, and I want you to go over and hit the monkey wrench modifier. Select add modifier and pick curve. And when it asks for the curve object, I want you to use the little eyedropper and select the Bezier curve. You can see that Margot has moved around a little bit. Okay, so that's obviously in the wrong position. I'm just going to press G for grab, Z for Z direction only, and just move Margot down to about there. If we look at it from the front, G for grab, Z for Z direction only. Sorry, G for grab, Z for Z direction only. Right there. Okay, press 3 to get the right orthographic view, and I think that curve is a bit severe. So click on your curve, press tab to go into edit mode, and just grab those handles and make the curve slightly less severe, I think. Okay, and tab out back into object mode. I'm going to make Margot a little bit thicker. So pick the text properties on the right hand side. Where it says extrude, just increase that so it's a little bit thicker. So select Margot and select the curve, press G for grab, Y for Y direction only, and just move it in. I'm going to turn off X-ray so that we can get an idea of where it is. It's a little bit big actually, so I'm going to press S for scale and just bring it down a little bit like so. That is not too bad, but you can see I think we need to stick it out a little bit more in the middle. So click on the curve, tab into edit mode, look at it from the right orthographic view and just grab that handle and push it out. Grab that handle and move it around until you get a feel for what those handles are doing, and actually moving it up towards the y-axis there is giving us what we want in the center. Click to lock that in. Have another look round. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to convert the text into a mesh. So let's just do a little bit of housekeeping there where it says text. I want you to put in Margot underscore text or whatever your dog's name is. And I'm going to duplicate it just in case anything goes wrong. So press Shift D for duplicate, right click to confirm. And we're going to call the second one Margot Mesh. I'm going to turn off Margot text and make sure Margot Mesh is selected. Go up to Object, click Convert, and convert to Mesh. I'm going to tab in to take a look at it. It's not too bad. We're not quite touching here. So I'm just going to go into X-ray mode, press 1, circle select. I'm going to select all, press X for delete and limited dissolve, just to make the shape a bit more simpler. That's perfect. Go to 1 for front orthographic view, double tap A for deselect all. I'm going to select the T. I'm going to turn on proportional editing. I'm going to line it up. I'm just going to press R for rotate. Sorry, I have that set to pivot around 3D cursor, so I'm just going to change that to median point. R for rotate, and just rotate it round ever so slightly like so. Turn off the X-ray just to get a better view. I'm going to go G for grab, Y for Y direction only. I'm actually going to go a little bit, well, I'll rotate it is what I'll do. Or for rotate, and don't affect everything. Like about there. And see if that looks good. Yep, that looks pretty good. Okay, so file save. So now we're ready to boolean these two shapes together. So select the dog tag. I want you to add modifier and pick boolean. Pick union, and for the solver I want you to pick fast. Just select the dropper and then click it on Margot Mesh. And if you switch off the actual Margot Mesh, you can see there you have it. She's attached onto the dog tag. So I want you to apply that Boolean operator. Make sure everything is still okay. And there we go. So I'm just going to select the dog tag and we'll press R for rotate, Z for around the Z axis only, and 180, and we're going to add the phone number onto the back there. So press 1 for the front orthographic view, Shift A, and choose text. R for rotate, X for around the X axis only. And in the text properties panel, I'm going to align that center and center. That's perfect. I'm going to press tab to go into edit mode, and I'm going to enter the number 123456. Very good phone number. And for the font, I'm just going to use the drop down list because we've used a font already. The brush script MT, select that. I'm going to tab out into object mode first. G for grab, Y for Y direction only, just so we can see the text. And I'm going to extrude it there under geometry, just to give it a bit of depth. So for housekeeping in the top right hand corner, that is going to be called number underscore text. Press 1 for front orthographic view, or for rotate, just so we can fit it on our space, like so. I'm going to use the shear just to change the angle of it back up. G for grab. Move it to where we more or less want it. I'm going to press G for grab, Y for Y direction only, and just bring it back in ever so slightly. And I'm going to apply a curve modifier to it. So go to the little monkey wrench, click add modifier, click curve, And I want you to use the dropper to click on the Bezier curve. It'll go mad. So press 1 for the front, G for grab, and just move it down where you want it. S for scale. That looks good. I'm going to convert it to a mesh and then we'll apply the modifier. So press Shift D for duplicate, right click. And instead of number text 001, we're going to call this one number mesh. And enter. Turn off the number text, select the number mesh, and in object, I want you to pick convert to mesh. And there we go. So I'm just going to press 3 to get that view, G for grab, Y for Y direction only, and just move it in. Like so. Until it's touching everywhere, basically. It's got a bit of a twist in it, so I'm just going to tab into edit mode. Press 1. I'm going to select all. Press X for delete and limited dissolve, just to simplify the shape a little bit. Double tap A to deselect all. Switch on X-ray mode. And I'm just going to select the 6 with circle select. Have I got all of it? I don't. That one there as well. I'm just going to rotate it a little bit. So press R for rotate and just take it round like so. Left click. And the same with the 1. It looks like it's twisting out ever so slightly. So circle select. Just select the 1. R for rotate. I'm going to increase that just to bring them all back in line a bit. Left click to confirm. Turn off X-ray mode. And just make sure everything is in place. And it is. Excellent. Tab to go into object mode, and we're going to Boolean that on, so it's a good idea to save it now. So file save, click on the dog tag, click add modifier, choose Boolean, union, fast solver, and use the dropper to select the phone number. I just want you to turn off the number mesh to make sure everything's okay there. And that's lovely. Okay. We're ready to go on to the next stage, which is going to decorate these little side panels here. And we're going to use the sculpting tool for that. So press file save. And I want you to duplicate the dog tag just to make sure that you can go backwards if the sculpting doesn't work out the way you want. So press Shift D for duplicate. So with the dog tag selected, I want you to apply the modifiers. So we're going to apply the Boolean. Might take a few seconds. And I want you to apply the subdivision surface. And now we're going to go into sculpt mode. So in the top left hand corner where it says object mode, I want you to click sculpt mode. Don't forget to turn on din topo. Click OK to the warning. And on the drop down list, I want you to turn that number down to about 3. Yeah, there we go, about there. And I'm going to keep this fairly simple. So I just use the inflate sculpting tool. I'm going to turn the radius down to about there. Let's say 25. And I'm just going to do a series of dots around the outside basically. So just up the strength to 1 and just keep tapping.
She hears them.
Okay, and now that that surround is in, I'm just going to do a few little squiggles and swirls on the blank bit. So for that, I'm going to pick draw. Why not? And just zoom in. And I'm going to turn the radius down ever so slightly. Keep the strength up. This, when you print these, even things that look like they're fairly big are going to be tiny. So don't be afraid about exaggerating it a little bit. So I'm just going to draw a little squiggle there. And you'll see by going over it, it's actually accumulating, which is what we want. Oh, and I nearly forgot. Make sure your brush is set to front faces only. There we go. I just want to make sure that it's a good bit away from the surface. So put up the strength to 1. We want this to be nice and strong. I'm going to continue doing that. So I'm going to speed this bit up. I'll see you in a few minutes. Once you're finished, press File and Save. And all we need is the dog tag. So I want you to go back into object mode. I want you to unhide everything in your collection there. So select the dog tag, press Ctrl I to select the inverse, press X for delete and click delete. So the dog tag is the only thing left. Press File, Save, File, Export, STL. It's going to fill in the name there for you. Press Export STL. And we're done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like to buy me a coffee, then there is a link in the description. And I will see you in the next video. See you then.